Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Quick housekeeping. Check out the affiliate links in our description. Using them supports the show, and please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
Today we will be covering Anthropic's major expansion of Claude Cowork with deep enterprise integrations, the Pentagon issuing Anthropic a deadline over military AI restrictions, Anthropic accusing Chinese firms of large-scale Claude distillation, and Anthropic dropping a core responsible scaling pledge. It has been a huge couple of days for Anthropic, and we have a lot to get through, so let us jump right in. On February 24th, Anthropic held a live-stream product event where they unveiled major upgrades to Claude Cowork, their enterprise AI agent platform. The new version rolls out integrations with Google Drive, WordPress, FactSet, LegalZoom, and expanded connectivity with Microsoft Office tools. The big highlight here is that Claude can now execute multi-step workflows across Excel and PowerPoint, while maintaining context throughout the process. So think of it as Claude not just answering questions about your spreadsheet, but actually working inside it, chaining together actions across multiple apps the way a human colleague might. On top of that, Anthropic introduced custom enterprise plugins designed for specific verticals like HR, engineering, finance, and wealth management. Major companies are already on board. L'Oreal, Deloitte, and Thomson Reuters are among the enterprise customers deploying Claude in their day-to-day workflows. Deutsche Bank analysts describe tools like Claude as acting as orchestration layers, meaning they complement rather than replace existing enterprise software. The update is available now in Research Preview for Pro, Max, Team, and Enterprise tiers. This move is a direct shot at Microsoft 365 Copilot and OpenAI's enterprise agent offerings. Anthropic is essentially embedding Claude inside the same productivity environments that businesses already depend on, which is a smart way to reduce friction and make adoption as seamless as possible. Now on to a very different kind of Anthropic story. Also on February 24th, reports emerged that U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth gave Anthropic a deadline to loosen Claude's military usage safeguards. The Pentagon warned that if Anthropic did not comply by Friday, February 27th, at 5:01 p.m. Eastern, it could be labeled a, quote, supply chain risk, and the government could potentially invoke the Defense Production Act. For context, Claude is currently the only AI model approved for certain classified missions. The friction centers on Claude's built-in restrictions around domestic surveillance and lethal autonomous weapons. Anthropic has maintained that these safety restrictions have not interfered with any actual operations, but the Department of Defense is reportedly seeking expanded operational flexibility. This all follows reports of U.S. military use of Claude during a January 2026 operation in Venezuela. Anthropic appears to be holding firm on its position for now, resisting calls to loosen safeguards tied to lethal autonomous systems. This is a significant moment because it puts a frontier AI company in direct tension with national security demands, and the outcome could shape how other labs handle similar pressure going forward. Stepping back one day to February 23rd, reports surfaced that Anthropic accused 3 Chinese AI firms, DeepSeek, Moonshot AI, and MiniMax, of conducting a massive distillation campaign against Claude. Distillation, for those less familiar, is essentially a process where you use one model's outputs to train or improve another model. In this case, Anthropic alleges these firms created roughly 24,000 fake accounts that generated around 16 million exchanges with Claude, all aimed at replicating its reasoning, coding, and tool usabilities. The scale here is remarkable. Anthropic argues that advanced chips were required to pull this off, which feeds directly into ongoing debates around U.S. export controls on AI hardware to China. The concern is not just about intellectual property theft, but also about the possibility that distilled versions of Claude could be redeployed without any of the safety guardrails that Anthropic builds into its models. If these allegations hold up, this would represent one of the largest known AI model extraction efforts to date, and it adds real urgency to conversations about how frontier model providers protect their systems from this kind of systematic copying. And finally, also on February 24th, Anthropic confirmed that it has removed a central commitment from its 2023 responsible scaling policy. The original pledge essentially said the company would not train advanced systems unless it could guarantee adequate safety measures were in place. That commitment is now gone. Anthropic cited competitive and geopolitical realities as the driving factors. Chief Science Officer Jared Kaplan stated that the unilateral commitment, quote, no longer made sense if competitors continued developing models without similar constraints. In place of the old pledge, Anthropic is introducing what it calls frontier safety roadmaps and risk reports, which emphasize transparency over hard commitments. Critics have raised concerns that this shift could increase long-term systemic risk, but from Anthropic's perspective, the calculation seems clear. Holding themselves to restrictions that no one else follows puts them at a disadvantage without necessarily making the broader ecosystem any safer. This is a notable philosophical shift for a company that has long positioned itself as the safety-first lab in the space, and it signals that the competitive dynamics among Anthropic, OpenAI, Google, and xAI are intensifying in ways that affect not just products, but foundational governance decisions.
Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.